Hello, as you can probably tell by the title, this video is about lymphoma. If you haven't already seen the part 1 video about leukemia, please go and watch that first, as it may help make this video make a bit more sense. So that video is right there. Right, you're still here, so I assume you've seen that video, and I'll begin. Lymphoma is a blood disease, a blood cancer actually, and it affects the lymphatic system. If you don't know what that is, then you're in the right place because I'm about to outline it for you. Now, I'm by no means a scientist, so I'll be calling on the help of lots of diagrams, pictures and stuff to help me explain this, just like this one. Now, I know them tubes look like blood vessels, but they are in fact actually representing the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is a lot like the blood circulation system in that the tubes or vessels branch out throughout the whole body, just like the veins and the arteries do in the blood circulation system. However, in the lymphatic system, the tubes are a lot thinner and carry a colourless liquid called lymph. This lymph contains a high concentration of lymphocytes, which are white blood cells that fight infection. So, we now know that the lymphatic system is a network of thin tubes that branch out across the body, and inside these tubes is the liquid lymph, and inside the lymph there is a high number of lymphocytes, which are the white blood cells that fight infection. There's also a lot of plasma in the lymph, but we won't worry about that for now. A very important part of the lymphatic system I haven't mentioned yet are the lymph nodes. These are the bean-shaped bulges on the diagram there. And here's another diagram. This is a lymph node close up. All the lymph fluid has to travel through the lymph nodes, and inside the lymph nodes there is a very high concentration of white blood cells that are ready to fight off infection and viruses and bacteria. So that's what the lymphatic system is, and I suppose I better tell you what it does now. So the lymphatic system has 4 main functions: draining fluid into the bloodstream, filtering lymph, filtering blood and fighting infection. As blood is circulated around the body, some fluid will leak out of the blood vessels. This fluid then bathes the surrounding body tissues. This is massively important because the fluid contains nutrients that the body tissues need. However, it does also cause a chemical reaction that leaves behind waste products. These waste products must be removed, otherwise they cause a fatal chemical imbalance. So this is where the lymphatic system comes in and picks up all the fluid and passes it through the lymph vessels, including the lymph nodes, up to the base of the neck, and then drains the fluid back into the blood. Now it's in the blood, these waste products will be filtered out by organs such as the liver and the kidneys. So that's how the waste products are broken down and how the fluid gets back into the bloodstream. However, if there's some sort of virus or infection in the lymph, then it's not broken down in the same way. It stays in the lymph fluid, which passes through the lymph nodes, and these are like checkpoints to ensure that there's no unwanted invaders within the lymph fluid. Because inside the lymph node there's loads of white blood cells or lymphocytes that are ready to destroy any bacteria, virus or infection that may be in the lymph fluid. But of course you can also get viruses and bacteria in your blood, and these infections obviously need to be filtered out as well, and this is done by the spleen, which, believe it or not, is part of the lymphatic system. The spleen has a huge amount of lymphocytes or white blood cells in it, so as the blood passes through the spleen, the white blood cells in the spleen then attack and destroy any viruses or bacteria or any infection that might be in the blood. The spleen also has another role, which is to filter out the old worn out red blood cells so that new ones made in the bone marrow can come into circulation. And in doing all these things, the lymphatic system allows our body to fight infection by killing bacteria and viruses, and also by keeping the body tissues and blood healthy and happy. However, when someone's suffering from lymphoma, which is a blood cancer, the white blood cells can no longer do their job properly. This is because they've mutated within the lymphatic system so that they can no longer fight off infections efficiently. I know what you're thinking, this sounds a lot like leukemia. Well, it is, in that the white blood cells are not produced properly, but in leukemia the white blood cells are not produced properly by the bone marrow, whereas in lymphoma the white blood cells are not produced properly in the lymph nodes by specialised tissues called lymphoids. The abnormal white blood cells or abnormal lymphocytes that are made by these lymphoid tissues are made at an accelerated rate, and they all clump together within the lymph node, forming a tumour. This tumour causes swelling on the body that can actually be visibly seen, and part of the tumour can break off and spread to other lymph nodes within the body, causing swelling in another area of the body. Not only that, but the tumour can actually spread to organs, including the kidneys and the guts. Lymphoma can cause things like abdominal pains, bruising, enlarged glands because the lymph nodes have swollen up, itching, night sweats, bone pains, and it can cause recurring infections as well. And some of these infections can be fatal. It is a horrible disease, but leukemia and lymphoma research are working hard to beat it, and they would love it if you would help them. So please, if you can, make a donation either on their website, or if you want, you can make that donation on my Just Giving page there. Please keep an eye out for the part 3 video, because hopefully that one will be a bit less depressing. In fact, it should be a happy one, because I'll be telling you about the work that's being done to beat blood cancers. So yeah, look out for that, and thanks for watching.